Globally known, family-owned, and technology solid, the Hall Company in Urbana, Ohio, has carved out a unique niche as the world leader in both membrane and capacitive switches. This third-generation high-tech company has engineered products that are literally out of this world.
The Hall Company was founded in 1961 by my grandfather, William D. Hall. He worked for Grimes Aerospace here in Urbana. He was an engineer for them. He worked on aerospace projects and had an aeronautics engineering degree. He saw a need for a new product mix. They needed to identify their products. They needed nameplates on the back of their devices to identify what they were. My grandfather bought a couple printing presses, threw them in his basement, and started printing those for Grimes. A couple years later, he saw it was a pretty good business model, continued picking up customers, and that's how the Hall Company got started. Over the years, the Hall Company's had a very diverse array of products. We've done everything from simple nameplates to lenses for the space program for both the Apollo and the Gemini missions. There's actually a lens and a switch on the moon rover sitting on the moon right now. We've done parts for Penske Racing for their race cars. We've done parts for Mitsubishi. We had parts on their 3000 GT Spider, a collision system that went in their trunk. We've done things for Disney World. There's actually controls on the monorail in both Disney World and Disneyland the Hall Company makes. We do everything from industrial controls for some consumer products. We've done controls for RCAs, some of their first line of VCRs they had back in the early 80s. We did the first design for a circuit board for intermittent windshield wipers that you see on all cars now. And as we've gone for the years, we've developed into more of a medical products company, but we're still founded on those principles my grandfather founded the company on.
I've been with the company since I was in high school, which was 1976 I began, and actually left for a year, but it's been approximately 36, 37 years, somewhere in that category. I like design. Even though I'm in manufacturing, I've been through the design area as well as sales and into manufacturing. I think problem solving, having a particular design that suddenly didn't do exactly what you expected, and you get to kind of think about it, decide what's going wrong, and then create a fix for it. Each design we do, each part we manufacture is not off the shelf. It's a custom design, and typically the customer will say, okay, we want this part to do that. It is up to us to determine how best to accomplish that task.
One thing that sets a Hall Company apart is our ability to be flexible, to take on new challenges when we see them and new opportunities as customers bring them to us. Our quality of our products are second to none. We take a lot of pride in what we manufacture here and what we design. One of the ways that we compete with overseas products is to automate as much as we can, maximize what we're doing in yields, minimizing scrap. That way it drives our costs down so we can actually compete head to head, and also thinking outside the box, looking at different innovative ways and new product lines that you can't get overseas. The other way that we look at this and compete is quality. Again, the Hall Company, our quality is second to none.
We've maintained the entrepreneurial spirit of our company by adapting new technologies to our existing customers and driving technology into our customers' products. The majority of the Hall Company's products go on medical apparatuses. This particular product is an example of one of our traditional membrane switches. This goes on a customer called VTS Medical. They make high-definition surgical monitors. This would go on the bezel beneath that product, and it's the actual controls the doctor would use in an operating environment to control how they're manipulating that screen for use.
Actually, one of the initial innovations I think that has helped keep the Hall Company strong has been a particular switch called a big switch. It's a very large, oversized switch that creates one big stop switch. So if a particular switch might impact something or hit a person or a table or something, it will shut the machine down.
This is a collision switch that would go on a GE CT scanner. So as the machine is coming in to take a picture of the patient, they want to get as close to the patient as possible to get the highest resolution image from the inside of them. This is the safety switch that protects the patient. So as they're moving that machine towards the patient, if this makes contact with the patient, this is what will stop that machine and back it up. In essence, it's a large switch. The entire area is sensitive, where experts are dialing down the pressure to exactly what the customer would want. Whether they want 2 ounces or 10 pounds, we can create that trip force for them.
My favorite part of the job is the exciting products that we do every day and the changing products that we do every day. Like I said, each day that we come in here, you don't know what you're going to be working on or what kind of phone call you're going to get from a customer with some exciting new design that they've come up with that we can help.
when you call somebody making something for you and you have to talk to a computer or an answering machine, I find that very personally frustrating. When I was in the sales area, I said that anytime the phone rings, a real person's going to answer the phone and a real person's going to give an answer. And if we can't give an answer, we say we don't know and we'll call you back and give a time you're going to call back, and then we do it.
Our goal and strategy is to continue to operate efficiently, effectively, and continue to drive new technology into our product mix.
We're adapting as best we can. We look at different opportunities, different ways for recycling, looking at less chemical consumption.
Hall Company has been going green for a long time. Being in a business where we use a lot of plastics, we've had a very sophisticated recycling program for years, probably one of the first people in Urbana. We actually had to secure a separate trash company that was able to manage what we could do. We print on plastics, so anything that we don't use, all the scrap, we actually recycle that and send that back. We've been doing that for 20 years. Some other technologies we've gotten into is more digitizing what we're doing. So instead of actually printing inks onto plastics, now we're digitally printing them on large format digital printers. This has a much less impact on the environment. I think what separates the Hall Company from our competitors is our people and our capabilities.
We have very experienced employees. I think the average term for our average employee is probably about 10, 15 years at least. They care a lot about their products, they care about what they do. And as we change our style of manufacturing and what we manufacture, a lot of training involved, and they seem very intent on learning and doing the best they can.
The Hall Company is tied to the community of Urbana, and that's one of the driving principles that has shaped us. We've grown with the community. We've been very involved in what we do with the community. We've been here since 1961, and it's a home. It's not just a place we keep this business. We partner with the community in a lot of programs, and one of our strengths are the people that work for us. You know, a lot of other places in the country, you wouldn't find the great employee base that we're able to find in Ohio that's ready to work, wants to work, and has the skills to work.
The Hall family, having lived in the area, grown up in the area, graduated, gone to school in the area, I think has kept close ties with all the people. Even the Hall family is even tied to the local airport.
With its roots deeply embedded in the community, the Hall Company understands the importance of being financially competitive in the years to come. So what is the strategy for the Hall Company moving forward?
Most of our competitors are focused on one area. They'll either do membrane switches, overlays, maybe they might just do a capacitive switch. We can do the entire array. We can do everything from design all the way up through the finished product. We can do as little or as much as the customer wants. Most of our competitors claim to have a lot of the product mixes we have, but they go to outside sources to do it. We're actually doing them ourselves inside.
The Hall Company has steadily kept a good pace with its membrane switch technology. Nowadays, again, with your cell phone and having the technology for capacitance switching, involving the capacitance switch now is probably the next avenue we'll be taking. We've had a lot of designs on the table, a lot of customers interested in it, and I think that's probably our growth area.
Hall Company has always been a human-machine interface company. As machines get more sophisticated, the interfaces that those machines will run off will continue to get more sophisticated. The Hall Company will look to be a leader in that industry. Everything from capacitive technologies now to subsurface sensings. We think we'll get into a lot more proximity sensing and a lot more printing. We've always been a printer, but the next thing is going to be a lot of 3D printing, ready-made products. Instead of buying components, I think you'll be printing them in 10 years.
Becoming a global supplier of medical equipment, as well as being a leader in collision avoidance systems and other high-tech imaging devices. The Hall Company truly exemplifies the entrepreneurial spirit, which is why we are proud to recognize Kyle Hall and the Hall Company of Urbana, Ohio as the winner of this year's Entrepreneurial Business Award.